we're going to be doing a new look Kansas City Chiefs rebuild in Madden 26. The Chiefs lost quite a few players in the secondary, but of course they also gained K9, so they should be a good team no matter what. Obviously last year was a huge disappointment. Let's see if we can turn them around. But before we get into today's video, YouTube does tell me about 83% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed, so do follow on that one to change that. That'd be greatly appreciated. We're getting down to the wire of our Madden 26 rebuilds, and Madden 27 is right around the corner. But of course, like I was saying, the Chiefs lost quite a few players in the secondary, such as McDuffie, Jalen Watson, but their biggest acquisition this offseason by far was getting Kenneth Walker. They haven't had this good of a running back, I feel like, since Jamal Charles. Obviously, they had like Kareem Hunt there for a second his rookie season, but we all know he ended up getting in trouble, and that didn't last too long. So Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Tyquan Thornton, Mahomes, of course, should be ready. They did get Justin Fields just in case, so I don't know if Mahomes is going to play week 1. Guess time will tell. With the way players are recovering nowadays, I assume he will. Delane, obviously their biggest acquisition in the draft. They traded up to get Mansour Delane out of LSU. So very good stuff, and I do think this Chiefs team will be just fine. So of course, my expectation is very high for year 1. I think we'll be a playoff team. I think we'll be potentially a top #1 seed if possible. Like I said, this was a very disappointing year for the Chiefs last year, so we'll see if that continues here, but I assume it won't. But with that all being said, let's get to the end of year 1, and we shall see how this Chiefs team performs with what they have now. Well, I did have my expectations pretty high for year 1, and it's safe to say that I'm disappointed because we ended up going 8-9 and missing the playoffs. So not good at all. With Mahomes under center, you would assume that, hey, we would be in the playoffs, but I guess not. So offensively, we ended up being 13 NFL, and you have Kenneth Walker in the backfield. Very bizarre, but it is exactly how things went. It looks like Kenneth Walker may have missed time, or was this playbook simply not good, I guess? I don't know. No, he did miss 4 games. So I'm about to say 660 yards is definitely disappointing to say the least. So that could have been an impactful reason why, but here were your stats for that. And then defensively, you did have 14.5 sacks from Chris Jones, which is good. You had 1 or 2 interceptions from Connor, 2 from Bolton, 2 from Fulton, 1 from Tranquil, 1 from Hicks, and 1 from Mansour Delane as well, with 116 tackles. So yeah, overall, a very disappointing year, #1. We ended up also losing to the Raiders in week 18, so that kind of sucks. And, you know, if we would have beaten the Raiders, maybe we're a playoff team. I'm not sure. Obviously, the Chargers got in at 9-8. Maybe we would have had the tiebreaker over them. We'll never know. I guess let's go ahead and get to this first offseason after not making the playoffs in year 1. So our division rival Broncos and then the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl, which obviously the Chiefs and Eagles have a little bit of a rivalry as well with meeting each other up in the Super Bowl a couple of times. Obviously, they're one, you know, they both split, I guess. But anyway, Eagles win 27-22. Jalen Carter is your Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins MVP. Vrabel is your Coach of the Year. And Puka Nacua, TJ Watt are your Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year. And then the Rookies of the Year are Jacob Rodriguez in Miami. And then Fernando Mendoza in Las Vegas. So we have $11 million. I presume that Travis Kelce would absolutely be gone here, and I would be right in that. And Chris Jones also retired, so that's a big one as well. Winchester is also gone, so definitely quite a few impactful retirements, Kelce and, you know, Chris Jones, so that's unfortunate. But let's go ahead and get into this offseason, I should say, with our $11 million. So one thing I know about this video will more than likely be like really our cap situation will be kind of just poor throughout the video if I had to guess, because the Chiefs are an expensive team. But defensively, this is what things look like. So honestly, before we get in the resigning stage, things look okay, but let's see what we got. So Rashee Rice has had a lot of problems, you know, getting in trouble off the field. Cater, Sneed, Jamari Connor, Drew Tranquil, Christian Fulton, Felix, Elam, Fields. I mean, the only one that I obviously have interest in resigning is Rashee Rice because of the overall. But we'd have to restructure or do something to make that happen. So how we're going to do that, or is there like an easy cut candidate? I don't know, but we're going to find out. So let's see. So we have $18.5 million going to Trey Smith. Restructure would get up, you know, $11 million. That probably gives me enough to re-sign Rashee Rice. I'll probably just do that, and that'll be the one thing we do. Free up money for Rashee Rice, and I guess we let the rest of everybody walk. We try to replace everything in the draft because obviously we won't have money in free agency. So that'll be how this first offseason goes. Let's go ahead and take a look to see what positions we will need to attack in the draft mostly. So we know we'll be fine more than likely at, you know, wide receiver. Right tackle is definitely a glaring hole. So receiver, I guess, is fine. You know, ideally you'd have somebody a little bit better as well, but we don't really have that luxury right now. And, you know, we have K9. Noah Gray is going to have to step up at tight end. You have Brenning Stool and Wiley as well. We'll need a right tackle. That's definitely the top of the priority list on offense. Defensively, of course, is where we lost a lot of our talent over here. So a corner is definitely needed. Another linebacker is needed. Safety, Hicks is going to have to step up, I guess, there. Linebackers, yeah, there's quite a few things we'll need. We'll have to get by with what defensive line we have right now, but corner for sure, and linebacker. Corner, linebacker, absolutely, if we can, and a right tackle. So those are the 3 spots I would love to attack in the draft if, you know, given the opportunity. But let's go ahead to the draft and see if we can have ourselves a good draft based on those needs that we have. So I think this one's pretty easy for me to start things off. Demetrius Samuel Jr. is absolutely where I'm going to go here in round 1. A lot of different options to go with here, but 21 in true value, got him at 13. Going to be a hidden dev corner. I said we need another corner, and we get an elite one, I would imagine, at round 1, which is a good start. Now I would love to get a right tackle prospect if we can. There was a couple that I could have taken in round 1 that maybe I could have jumped on, but I didn't. So instead, we'll be looking, you know, in this round. So we have Bo Hewley out of Colorado. Lacks discipline, so will not have hidden dev, but he doesn't look all too bad. But we'll see if there's something better than that. So if we go look at left tackle, we got Onu. Again, no hidden dev there. But if we look at right tackle over here, I mean, yeah, Bo Hewley might be our best bet. We do need a right tackle in the worst way possible. So I think I'm going with Bo here, and we'll see how good he is. So 52 in true value, got him at 45. So feel pretty good about that. And then we'll end up taking a linebacker to potentially start for us right away. We have 2 round 3s, which is nice. Let's see what we got going on here. And then Blount, obviously we're not taking him, but we do have Atkins on the board. Xavier Atkins at Auburn will utilize power. Loves, let's see if he has like elite speed or anything. Great speed, jumping elite. I think I'll go with it. So we'll go with him, and he'll be 107 true value. Got him at 77. So, I mean, an okay pick. Nothing to be overly excited about, but let's see what we have over here. Anything. I'll probably just go with whatever I think is best. I probably won't go by positional need here. So Malcolm Simmons, you got free safety prospect. I wouldn't mind. Chester. There's definitely a lot of Marcus Neal, though, actually has my attention here, and I think that's where I'm going with this one. So Marcus Neal will be our pick. 41 true value, got him at 81. So very good pick late in this draft. I feel good about that. So that is how this draft will end for us. Obviously, the expectations in year number 2 will be high once again. Disappointing year 1, but I imagine we can bounce back easily in year number 2. If we look at the draft recap, we'll have a 76 overall corner, a 74 right tackle, a 72 linebacker, 75 strong safety. So overall, and a 73 wide receiver. So overall, a pretty solid draft in my opinion, but let's go look at it all together. We're an 84 overall with an 88 offense and an 80 defense, which does add up and make sense. But we take a look at what we got going on here. So obviously we have our new right tackle in town. So Simmons and Hewley, 2 young tackles with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, and then our left guard in the middle as well. I feel pretty good about Rice, Noah Gray, Kenneth Walker. I need Kenneth Walker to stay healthy this year. I think that'll help out a lot. Then Atkins is obviously going to have to play right away. And then Samuel will be playing, you know, immediately. And I'll probably put Marcus Neal in at starter. Why not right away? So, yeah, I think our secondary is nice and young and upcoming. So that's good at least. Our linebackers are just going to have to get us by. And hopefully George Karlaftis can have a damn good edge rusher season because we definitely could use it. I don't know if I want to change the playbooks. I think I'm going to be okay with how things look right now. And leave the playbooks the same. I don't know if we could change. I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't really make anything different here. So I'll leave it at base 4-3. I'll just hope that year number 2 simulates a little bit better for us. And I assume if K9 plays all 17, then we get like a swing game and make the playoffs. But we shall see. Time will tell. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2 with expectations being high again of at least being a playoff team. And if we're not, then damn, we got a problem. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse than last year, boy, was I wrong. We ended up finishing 4-13. And by the way, I also screwed up as well. I accidentally loaded the 28 draft class last year. So I loaded the 27 draft class this time around. So I had it backwards for today, but it is what it is. We're already too deep in this video now. But 4-13, wow, I don't have words. How the hell did that happen? So offensively, 11th in the NFL. I mean, our offense continues to be like a top 15 offense. Our defense just continues to be horrible, I guess. The 29-11 from Mahomes. He had 7 touchdowns, 1,000 yards from K9. So I said if K9 plays all 17, we should be just fine. And boy, was I wrong. I guess it's safe to say the defensive playbook change is definitely in order because that's the only reason why I can think we're struggling so damn badly so far. But yeah, we are just poverty so far. It's not even funny. It's actually kind of surprising because you would think the Chiefs would simulate really well, but for whatever reason so far, that has not been the case whatsoever. So let's get straight in this offseason and once again try to make this team better. And I thought Mahomes, just carrying us off his injury would be enough, but I guess not. The Patriots went on to win the Super Bowl. They played the Cowboys. You have Joe Burrow winning MVP, Vrabel, Coach of the Year again. Joe Burrow also wins Offensive Player of the Year. Max Crosby, Depoy, Andrew Marsh, Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then Desmond Stevens is your Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I guess we'll at least have a high draft pick here, which will be nice. And technically it should be 28 class, but this will be the 27 class. I got it backwards like an idiot. But okay, $10 million to work with. So let's see who is all a free agent. Obviously, we are hamstrung with money. Worthy's a free agent, so is Bolton, our left guard who is starting for us. Noah Gray. Damn, there's actually quite a few guys to resign here that I would like to bring back. Like, none of them are over the top. Like, if we lose them, we'd be absolutely screwed. But I would love to bring all those guys back if I can, because they were all starters at the end of the day. So let's get to restructuring, I guess. So Mahomes frees us up $22 million. That's where we start. And then let's go somewhere else. And then George Karlaftis will free up that. Rashee Rice will free up another $6 million or so. And then Nick Bolton obviously is a free agent right now. So that gives us about $50 million. I assume that gives us enough to re-sign everybody, but we'll see. Worthy should be an easy re-sign. Get that done. And then Nick Bolton, I wanted to bring you back as well. So hopefully you're back. There he is, our left guard. And then there was one other guy after that. So Noah Gray was the other one. So Kingsley and Noah Gray are the other two guys I would like to resign. And I do think we're getting everybody back, which is good. So we're going to be letting Hicks go because we drafted Marcus Neal, obviously. But Noah Gray played pretty well. Obviously, with using Chiefs playbook, that makes sense. But yeah, we're letting Tyquan Thornton go, unfortunately. That gives us about, what, $6 million to work with. Probably ain't going to do too much with it. We could trade Mahomes and draft Arch Manning or something. What pick do we have? I'm not doing that, obviously, but that's very unrealistic. Anyway, we are going to have pick number 3. So we're going to have a top 3 pick in this draft, which is kind of bizarre, but that is where this video is taking us at this point. So looking at our offense, once again, I feel pretty solid about what I'm seeing. It does suck we lost Thornton, but Simmons is going to have to step up, and then you have Royals as well. And then Noah Gray. But the offensive line to me is fine enough. And then defensively, this is where we've had our problems, obviously. So Marcus Neal and Demetrius Samuel are both up to superstar depth. That is fantastic. So I think we'll be going to this draft basically drafting all defense, is if I had to guess. Like any position we feel is necessary, that's what we'll go with. In fact, I'll even see if I can sign a free agent here. I don't know if I have enough, but if there's like a defensive player we can sign, we obviously don't need Gibbs. If we had enough money for Jalen Carter, that would be pretty awesome right now. But we have Deron Payne or Ed Oliver. Wouldn't mind bringing either of those guys in. I would love Ed Oliver, actually. So if I can get in Ed Oliver, that's not even close to being enough. So probably can't afford that. Is there any linebackers in here we could sign that makes sense? No. Spillane. Trevin Wallace, 25 years old. I actually wouldn't mind that if we can get there. And you have Sherwood. Could I afford Sherwood right now? We could actually barely afford Jamie and Sherwood. I'd be all over that if we can get him. So it looks like he will choose us. We get Sherwood, so we get at least one thing attacked in the draft or in free agency before the draft. But that's nice to have. So we don't have to worry about linebacker in the draft too much. We'll have Adkins, Bolton, and Sherwood. So secondary, I actually feel really good about as well. Maybe you replace your free safety, but Gilman's fine enough. I think you'll more than likely see me attack the defensive line. Like if we can get a better defensive tackle or a better edge rusher in the draft, that's probably where you make the most impact, I would guess, with us having a decent corner room and decent strong safety or free safety or just safety room in general. So let's go to this draft and let's hit in this draft. Or we could draft Jeremiah Smith as well, but we probably won't do that, although that would be crazy. So let's see who falls to us at pick 3. The Jets are picking 1. I assume Arch goes. Jeremiah Smith and Colin Simmons. So Arch Manning, funny enough, fell to 3. I'm obviously not going to take him, but again, this shouldn't be the class we have in here. I just, screwed up like I said. But you do have some quarterback prospects, so I could trade down and try to gain another first in this draft. Don't think there's a team with multiple firsts, though. That would make sense to trade with. So probably won't do that. I'm probably just going to pick because we just need to take best player. So Dylan Stewart definitely has my attention here. I say we need a better edge rusher, and I think I'm going to go take Dylan Stewart here. So Dylan Stewart is going to be 5 in true value. Got him at 3. So we got our edge rusher opposite of George Karlaftis. I love that. Great start. Would love to get a really elite D tackle prospect if we could as well. That would be like icing on the cake if we could walk away with this as well, but we'll see. So Dante Moore has fallen all the way here, funny enough. I guess if we were thinking about life after Mahomes, we could do something like that. As far as D tackle prospects are concerned, I don't think there's an elite one left. Oh, McKinley at LSU. shows good discipline. I think this is where we go with it then. So Donovan McKinley is going to be our other prospect we take. 45 true value, got him at 35. So yep, feeling good about that. And if Mr. Russo falls to round 3, which I don't think he will, I'm going to hammer him because I was considering him, but I don't think he'll be here if I had to guess. And no, he's not. Okay, so we do have another edge rusher prospect or safety prospect. We could definitely think about replacing Alohi Gilman here, but I do want to look at Toby here, but no, I don't really see anything I like there. So let's look at the safeties. I do see Schuler. I see Dalton Brooks. Could, start him over Alohi Gilman right away, but yeah, I think I'll go with that. So we'll go with Dalton Brooks, 57 true value, got me 67. So all in all, I think it was a pretty damn good draft class, and I'm feeling pretty good about what we brought in. So hopefully Dillard Stewart, Damian Sherwood, and also McKinley can make a major impact because our defense has been poverty, man, and we have like no money. We have like obviously restructured a lot of guys. You got 79 overall Dylan Stewart, so definitely a really good prospect coming in, which, obviously if you're picking at 3, obviously you'd have a good prospect coming in, you would think. So that's good. But let's go take a look at the lineup, and hopefully our defense is down 85. So that's the best it's been ranked so far, which is good. At least I believe so anyway. Maybe they were better in year 1. I just don't remember. We also got a hidden depth tight end backup. I love that. But defensively, Stewart gets to start right away. McKinley, I'd be comfortable throwing in. And then Brooks, I guess I'll leave him as a backup for now. But Atkins, Bolton, Sherwood. And then the only other thing I could think to do is change the defensive playbook, because clearly Chiefs playbook is not working here. So what do we want to run if we're running a 4-3? Always usually about, I love running Buffaloes when I'm running a 4-3, but if I change this to a 3-4, we don't get better, do we? I doubt it. Maybe 3-4, base 4-3 was a little bit better, I believe. So I'll leave it as that. So as far as 4-3 defense is concerned, like I said, I've always loved running Buffaloes, and they've always, done a good service for me. So I'll leave it like that, and we'll see if year 3 gives us a better simulation. The fact we haven't made the playoffs yet is kind of, surprising. But we'll see if year 3 is the year that it finally gets done. My expectations that, it will be are there. We'll see, man. Wouldn't you know it, at the end of year 3, we do finally make it. All it took was a defensive playbook change, and we get to play the Ravens in the wild card round. So that should be interesting. We'll see how things looked as far as stats are concerned. The Bills end up getting the number 1 seed at 14-3, which makes sense. Mahomes continues to be like a top league leader, which is good, but obviously has not, mean that we're making the playoffs until now, which is good. We take a look at the stats. You had offensively 3rd in the NFL. Offense continues to be good. I assume our defense finally ranked better. And no, still pretty low, but I guess our offense was just good enough. K9, once again, I felt like missed a lot of games, and he did. Only played 13, so that's not good. 1,300 yards from Rashee Rice, 1,100 from Worthy, and 900 from Noah Gray. And then Malcolm Simmons even had himself a really good season as well. Defensively, you had 10.5 sacks from Peter Woods, 10 from McKinley. Love to see that. 5.5, 5.5. So unfortunately, Dylan Stewart only had 3 his rookie season. Would have loved to have seen a bigger impact there, but that's okay. Delaney with 2 picks, 1 from Bolton, 1 from Sherwood, 1 from Neal, and 1 from Noah Williams. So, okay. Well, with that being said, we get to play the Ravens here. Do we have any injuries to report? Hopefully not. I guess it's not showing me injuries right now. So we look at it, our injury report, Kenneth Walker. So Kenneth Walker cannot stay healthy for whatever reason. I mean, to be fair, he has had some injury history in real life, but yeah, in this simulation, he's not been healthy whatsoever. Okay, well, let's go ahead and play the Ravens in wildcard weekend. The Chiefs historically have owned a lot of the AFC teams in the playoffs. The Bengals are like the one team that got them that one time, but let's go see if we can beat the Ravens as well. Time will tell. Let's jump in here. So here we are in wildcard weekend, Arrowhead. Let's see if we can come out here and beat the Ravens. It's been a pretty crazy video to this point, but we are going to go up 3-0, and they're going to go up 7-3. Need our offense to wake up and do something here, and so far that has not been the case. 14-3, but maybe we score here, which we do. We get a stop, and we get another stop. We take the lead here. We cut it to 1, I guess. What about a lead right now? Nope. The Ravens are going to go up 17-13, can still take the lead here. We do not. So 8 minutes left in this game, and it already feels like I need to jump in here. So it obviously doesn't help not having Kenneth Walker. I would, probably be something. I probably should have had a better, backup, but whatever. We'll go with whoever the hell this is. I have no idea who this is, but Smothers is going to run the ball for us, get it down to a 5-yard gain. He's Hollywood Smothers. Yeah, I couldn't tell you who that is, but anyway, let's go ahead and go right back to him, this time on a slip screen play. Try to get a first down here, and a nice block there, and we got a first down and more. Oh my lord, that was a nice little chunk there. We'll take it. So we're obviously trying to take the lead on this drive. And Hollywood Smothers has got us down to the 42-yard line. Let's continue to, be progressive here. And Worthy, we all know he's fast. Maybe I can hit him over the top on this play here. We might have to get rid of this faster than I want, though. And wow, that was honestly kind of a very rushed play. I saw the edge, I saw the blitz immediately, and we still got that off in time, thankfully. And that was a nice, accurate throwing ball by Mahomes, as expected, obviously. I'm going to come out of this, and we'll probably just dump this off to Braden Smith, I guess, maybe. Yeah, we're going to do that, and okay, that didn't go anywhere. So, 3rd and 9. We could sell for the field goal here, but I definitely would like to. I mean, yeah, it's probably time to go score if we can. So, is this 4-down territory? It could be, but I'm hoping that... Oh, actually, X has the shot. Simmons, touchdown. There we go. So, never mind. No worries on a 4th down. So, we're going to go ahead and have a nice touchdown there. Need our defense to step up and stop this Ravens team. We take the lead late, but the Ravens take it right back. So, we're back out here with 2 minutes remaining. With being down. But obviously Mahomes is one of those guys that if you give him the ball with time remaining on the clock, it used to be Aaron Rodgers that you'd fear. Now it is Mahomes. You can't give him time remaining. It's usually not a good recipe. We'll give it to Rashee Rice here, and only going to get about 9 or 8 yards here, but that's okay. We'll keep going here. Now we're going to go to slot post. We'll look for Worthy on this wheel route, but if not, I dump this Noah Gray. We got plenty of time here. Actually, might even scramble this with Mahomes instead, and I am. Can I get... Ooh, I didn't get past number 36, but that's okay. It was Peyton Bowen, I believe. But we do get a 1st down. That's good, at least. The 1st down has been gained. We do have all 3 timeouts. So there's really no rush here whatsoever. So Rashee Rice has a nice... Oh, my gosh. Is he gone? He might be gone. He might be gone. Maybe not. He's going to get caught here at the end, but that's okay. 1st and goal, down to the 4-yard line. That zig route was beautiful. Roquan Smith had him in man coverage. Not great for them. Better for us. And now... all we got to do is go up 27-24 if we can score here. We'll start with a handoff to Braden Smith. And honestly, I'm okay with this clock bleeding down as much as possible because we don't want the Ravens to have a ton of time left remaining. So now we got to consider, throwing this in the end zone here. So that is what we'll do right now. 15 seconds left. We have all 3 timeouts. Going to Rashee Rice, and that was easy. So that was an easy read. Now we'll go down, or we'll go up 27-24, and that is all she wrote. So we jump in wildcard weekend and save the day, having to score twice. Hopefully we put up a better performance in the next game. But Mahomes with 3 touchdowns, no picks. You had Bo Jackson running for the Ravens. Derrick Henry's gone. Rashee Rice had 2 touchdowns. Simmons obviously had that one that we loved. And then sacks-wise, 2.5 from Mike Green, 2 from Dylan Stewart. 2 from Matabike, 1.5, 1. A lot of sacks still go around. But okay, let's get to the divisional round. We beat the Ravens, but obviously still a lot more games to come, so we got to keep winning here. So now we get to welcome in our divisional rival, the Denver Broncos. So they have already made it to the Super Bowl once in this video, so hopefully it is our turn. And we get off to a much better start compared to the last game. And I would love to see that continue, but no, 7-3 now, and we will go down and score a field goal to make it a 7-point game. The first half goes to us, but the Broncos do tie it up pretty quickly in the second, and now they take the lead, but we have a response, hopefully. Nope. What about now? 4th quarter time. Got to do something here. We tied up, and once again, we're at a point where there's 5 minutes and 53 seconds left in this game. I feel the need to jump in and make sure the game is going to end with us winning. So let's start with a run to Braden Smith here, see if we can get anything going here. Going to be a decent run up the middle with 6 yards. He's got, or I guess it's Brashard Smith. Sorry, not Braden Smith. I'm thinking of the right tackle in Houston, I think. Well, he was in Indy, but now I think he's in Houston, I believe. But anyway, we'll go right back to Brashard Smith. I don't know why I kept saying Braden Smith. But we're going to get another 1st down run, which is good. If we could just run this ball all the way to field goal range, that is the most ideal thing we could do. But why not bring out some slip screen action, because I love this play a lot. Let's see if we get anything going here. So another nice, beautiful block. And we are going to get another 1st down, and we are already really close to field goal range. I know Harrison Butker, if he's still our kicker, is a decent one. I think he's fallen off a little bit potentially, but we've, rode our running backs all the way to field goal range, and we continue to do so. Smothers with a nice broken tackle. And now we can really turn on Chew Clock here and make sure this possession never goes back to Denver. So that's all we'll do. We're in field goal range already. If we can get closer and closer, that's all that matters. Let those Broncos waste all their timeouts. Another nice run. Actually, we might even house this. Why not? Let's house it. Screw it. So Brashard Smith gonna get a nice run there up the middle. Hopefully our defense holds up, and we'll see if they do, and then this game can end like that, and we will put this one away 20-13. So we are headed to the AFC Championship game, beating the Denver Broncos. Had a beautiful run there by Brashard Smith. Love to see it. Mahomes had a touchdown, so did Bo Nix. Not team stats, that's not what I meant to look at, but player stats. Mahomes with a neither one through an interception. 88 yards from Brashard Smith. We saw a beautiful run there that we did. And then you had Simmons lead the way. He had another touchdown in a playoff game. Love to see that. And then 1 sack from Watkins. And then as we saw, no picks. But okay, let's get to the AFC Championship game. Obviously a game that Mahomes is very familiar with. So let's go see if we can win while we're there again. So another divisional opponent, and it's going to be a rainy day in Kansas City. So this is going to be interesting. It actually does not favor us because, you know, our running back is hurt. Jamal Charles, you got any energy left in you to come out here and maybe replace Kenneth Walker? Because this might be a type of game we're going to need to run the football, but looked like we're going to score on our first drive, but not quite. Maybe our second drive? No, neither time. Both teams still have nothing, and we finally do score after we've driven down there a few times, but never did anything with it. We get a beautiful interception from Alohi Gilman, and we do go up 14-7. You cannot turn the football over in the playoffs. It is a death sentence, but sometimes you can get away with it, and the Raiders maybe get away with it here. 14-14, we do score late in this one. Does feel like this may be a game I won't need to jump into, and that is correct. We are going to beat the Raiders 21-14 in a very rainy day, but it gets the job done. So I'm curious to see what those stats looked like for us to win this one. Mahomes had 2 touchdowns. Mendoza had 1 himself. But 2-1, so both quarterbacks did throw a pick. You had 44 yards from Gene T. So, yeah, not a lot of running from either running back. Rashee Rice had 131 yards, and then you had 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown. Malcolm Simmons continues to score in every single playoff game so far. Love to see that for him. George Karloff is with a great performance, and then Gilman and Stokes had the picks. But, okay, let's get to the Super Bowl. We've made it there once again. Let's get Mahomes ring number, what would it be, 4 or 5? I can't remember. Anyway, let's go get him another one. So it's going to be the Atlanta Falcons, who just continue to simulate really well in Madden 26 on this roster that I do use. So we're up 7-0 to start things off, and we are in Miami right now. 7-0, good field position, and we get, another interception. 14-0, and we are going to, I thought we were going to up 21-0, but I guess not. And the Falcons are right back in it, making it a 3-point game, and we do score another field goal, and they take the lead here. 18-17. Do we have a response here? We do. 18-25. We go put them away on this drive, and we do. That's all she wrote. So 18-32. We are going to walk away victorious in this one, but for whatever reason, I feel like just throwing up a couple of Hail Marys to end this one off. So let's see if we can get a touchdown on a Hail Mary for whatever reason. Like, there's really no reason to do this at all, but we might as well, right? Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to throw... there we go. I want Simmons on a go route. So this actually might look like we can cash in here. Rashee Rice left wide open. So this is all I wanted. And that's a touchdown. So, okay. I'm happy. I can end it on that. So just like that, Rashee Rice is going to walk away with another touchdown. And we'll make this a 20-point game, 21-point game after the extra point. And hey, we can throw another one. Let's do it again. Why not? So let's throw another Hail Mary for no reason here at the 32-yard line. Let's see if we can get a touchdown on this one final play. I'm just going to throw to... This might have a shot. No, I didn't. Okay, anyway. Hope you guys did enjoy this one. We do bring the Chiefs another Lombardi, like they freaking need one after what they've been doing these last 10 years. But anyways, guys, I hope you all did enjoy it. We're getting to the end of Madden 26. Madden 27 right around the corner. I'm excited, even though it's probably going to be the same game more than likely. But thank you all for watching. At least we'll have the updated rosters and face scans and all that. That'll be the exciting part. But this is Crushables. I'm saying peace.